Can anyone think of any types of meetings? Do you often attend meetings, for example? And if so, what kind are there? Briefing, I see. So Isabella has just informed us that she attends briefing meetings. I see. Okay, anyone else? What about you, Saverio or Valentina? Anyone else, or Louise, Regina, any other meetings you attend? Let's see, why don't we have a look? Team meetings, that's a good one. So there are some meetings where where their objective is team building. We all know how important it is to have a good team spirit, isn't it? So I guess those are very important. Let's have a look at some other types of meetings other than briefing and team meetings. We also have training meetings, planning meetings, problem-solving meetings, decision-making ones, brainstorming meetings. That's right, brainstorming. So we also have Katya, who's just informed us that she attends brainstorming meetings. That's right, where you have to come up with new ideas, and it's like a storm of ideas, isn't it? A storm of brains of ideas. You have to think of new ways to solve issues and so on. And then again, we have stand-up meetings. That's right. Has any one of you attended a stand-up meeting? And if not, do you know what stand-up meetings are? Or can you guess? Can you try guessing what a stand-up meeting is? If you think about it, it's a meeting where you have to stand up. Yes, like a presentation. So Isabella says it's like a presentation. Well, it could be a presentation, but I'd say it's more like a meeting. So imagine all the participants of the meeting standing up. That's right, no sitting down. This means that a meeting lasts no more than 15 minutes. So it's nice and short. So what some companies do is you have the organizer of the meeting, and he or she throws a ball to a participant, and the participant who has the ball, who catches the ball, hopefully, has to say some things about what he did yesterday, what he's going to do today or tomorrow. And when he finishes speaking, he just throws the ball to another participant, which means that it's his or her turn to start talking. So it seems a bit fun, you know, standing up, throwing a ball, catching it. Would you like to attend a stand-up meeting? Have you? Yes, so Regina says she would like to attend a stand-up meeting. Yes, it could be a good idea. It's for a change. It's definitely, I think personally, it would be more interesting than sitting down all the time at a desk. Whereas if you have to stand up, maybe you think more fast, don't you? Okay, so now we can come to the next point, which is topics. What topics do you usually discuss? As you can see in the picture, one topic may be workplace safety. Here you have a person wearing a mask or someone wearing a hard hat. So workplace safety topics, for example, could include wearing a hard hat to avoid it's falling on your head, or dust. Nowadays you have to masks for COVID, don't you? Or may include wearing a face shield or gloves, or it may have to do with where the fire extinguishers are or the evacuation routes, and so on. What other types of topics can you think of? Can anyone think of any other topics? They may have to do with the past, the present, or the future. Can anyone come up? Business plan, yes. So, so Isabella here says that some meetings she has attended include business planning. That's right. So setting goals, to where you set goals, or where you have to align on goals, or shipping schedule. Oh, I see. Where do you work, Isabella? Do you work for a company? So yes, it could have to do with planning and scheduling, shipping. It depends. I think it depends on the company, doesn't it? Or other topics may include, may have to do with the present. Oh, so let's see. So Isabella works as an import-export consultant. That's why she mentioned shipping schedules. But her work is mostly related to certification. I see. So yes, in this case, I guess many of your meetings will evolve around shipping schedules. That makes sense. Then again, other topics may include ongoing performance conversations, where you have to stay up to date with the progress on goals or projects. Staff appraisals, that's another topic. So Luigina mentioned staff appraisals, that's right, where maybe you give feedback. So we also have meetings with staff appraisals or performance. That's right. So where you have to also, when you give feedback, you have to help employees grow and ensure they feel valued. So another topic, as Isabella has mentioned here is state of the work meetings, I see, or evaluating skills and objectives. That's right. Yeah, I guess that those pretty much cover the main, pretty much cover the majority of the topics. Turning our attention now to time. Time is of the essence. Time is money. Lost time is never found again. So that highlights the importance of the length of our meetings. How long do your meetings last? Do they last 15 minutes? For example, remember, stand-up meetings usually last no more than 15 minutes, 2 hours. So Louise's meetings usually last 2 hours. Other meetings may last 30 minutes or 1 hour. So 45 minutes, as Luigina has just mentioned. Katya's meetings sometimes last an hour, I see. So yes, some meetings even last, I've heard of meetings that last even 4 hours. So Isabella's meetings last from 1 hour to 2 hours, depending on the topic, of course, and on the number of the participants. Yes, 4 hours, that's right, is very long. So that is a problem because sometimes attendees keep talking on and on. And in cases like this, what some companies have come up with is the use of a timer. That's right, they actually set a timer for the person speaking, and after, let's say, yes, it is a good idea, after 10 minutes, ring, time's up. So that means that the person speaking has to stop talking. And if you think about it, it seems time-saving and pretty much, I would say, life-saving if you think of all those meetings that drag on for hours and hours on end. So I definitely like that idea. What do you think? So Louis-Jean and Louise think it's a good idea. I do, but what about the others? Do you think it may be stressful having a timer, or do you think it would actually set some limits? Let's see. Well, Saverio says it's a good idea. Yes, I think so too. I agree. So we see eye to eye. So let's now turn to the main point of this webinar. Let's see what Isabella says. According to Isabella, it's useful for the host. Yes, it can be a little bit stressful, that's right, for the person who's talking. That's true. So although it may be effective, it can be stressing. I think I would feel a bit stressed. That's true. So let's turn to the main point of this webinar, which is useful phrases, What do you say at the beginning of a meeting? Let's see. So what we'll do is we can have a look at some exercises. So here we have some sorry, useful phrases. We have some sentences and we have some jumbled up words where you have to put them in order. For example, the first sentence is time on start to like would I. So I'll be giving you 30 seconds to think about each sentence, and then you can type the right sentence into the chat box, and then we can have a look at it together. Why don't we have a look at the first sentence together? So I'll help you. Here, this is an affirmative sentence. So the usual word order in affirmative sentences is subject, verb, object, how, where, when, usually. So what do you think the first word would be? What is the subject? Can anyone think and type? I would, that's right. So Isabella has just sent the correct answer, which is I would like to start on time. Let's check it out, shall we? I would like to start on time. That's right. Well done. Let's have a look at the second one. Here we have the words everyone, welcome, to, Luigina, back, nice, see, and. So this is a longer sentence. So I'll give you 30 seconds to think about it and type it into the chat box like Isabella has just done. Let's see. So maybe we can guess what the first word is. Begins with a capital letter, doesn't it? So let's think of the first. So nice to see Luigina. So back, and welcome to everyone. So the first three words are correct. Nice to see, that's right. It could be Luigina. It's not grammatically wrong saying nice to see Luigina, but it makes more sense if we say nice to see everyone back, and welcome to Luigina. Nice to see everyone, that's right, and back goes with welcome. So almost, yes. let's check it out. So click. Nice to see everyone. So that's right. And welcome back to Luigina. Welcome back works like a phrasal verb. So well done. You got the first part right, I'd say. Let's have a look at number 3. So here we have a copy. Everyone have the agenda of and does. So this is a question. So if it's a question, remember that the usual word order, if there's no question word, would be the auxiliary verb, subject, the base form of the main verb, infinitive, let's say. Well done, Isabella. So Isabella has just mentioned the third sentence. Does everyone have a copy of the agenda? Let's check it out. It's correct. Good job. Well done. And number 4 would be start, make, we, shall, are. So Isabella has already mentioned the answer. So it's correct. Good job. It begins, this time it begins with shall, modal verb. So shall, subject, we, make, a start. That's right. Good job. Okay, so these are some of them useful phrases you could use. Of course, you could use other ones as well, but these are some of them. So this leads me to my next point, which is strategies. Strategies about what? Strategies to start a meeting when colleagues are talking. So I guess we've all been in that situation where there's someone where we want to say something and the other person keeps talking all the time, and we wonder, how can I interrupt this person? So I guess one way would be to say, be quiet, but maybe this is a bit rude, isn't it? Or it could also be effective to just bang on hand on the table, but again, this can be a bit rude. Can you think of any other ways to politely start a meeting? Let's see. Whatever. So Louise has just mentioned, you can just say, let's start. Nice and simple. That's right. It's the most obvious way. Let's start, everyone, shall we? Nice and clear. So basically, this is a useful phrase, isn't it? Let's have a look at some ideas. So I'll help you out. Yes, so as Katya has just mentioned, you can say, are we all ready for the meeting? Exactly. So this is a good way. It's a question, so it sounds polite. So let's say these are very useful phrases. Other strategies could include coughing. Well, of course, maybe during this COVID era, maybe it's best to avoid coughing, and you can just clear your throat instead, for example. So that's a good way. Then, oh, so I see. So Isabella has just mentioned that the host just said hush. Yes, that must be effective, I guess. I'd think of another. It doesn't sound very. I'd say let's start, or are we all ready for the meeting, is more polite. Yes, it can be a bit rude. So yes, you can say hush. I think this would work with children, but it can be a bit rude at a meeting. So yes, saying, are we all ready, or let's start, and so on. Clearing your throat, or raising your hand, putting your hand up, standing up, unless you're attending a stand-up meeting, of course, in which case maybe you'll have to just sit down instead of standing up. If you want to stand out, you'll have to sit down during a stand-up meeting, won't you? Then again, you can also make eye contact with the person who's speaking. So you can, yes, it's funny, isn't it? You can look them in the eye, or use a useful phrase. Yeah, happy to hear that. You can use one of those useful phrases we've just mentioned. Okay, so just to round the talk off, I want to go back to our main point, and our main point, which has to do with useful phrases. Let's have a look at another exercise. So here we have some sentences, and we have to fill in the gaps with the following words. So we have business, get, time, make, and let's. So business, shall we? Sorry, begin, shall we? So which word do you think goes here? Begin, shall we? Any ideas? Let's begin. Also, Isabella has just typed in number 1, let's begin, shall we? Number 2, shall we make a start? That's right. Let's click on the answers so you can have a look at them. So let's begin, shall we? Shall we make a start? Let's see if it's right. It is. Well done. It's to get started, guys. Guys is a bit informal, so remember to not use it at a formal meeting. So it's time. It's right. Well done. Let's get down to business, everyone. Well done. It's the title of our webinar, isn't it? And since everyone is here, let's get started. Great job. Well done, Isabella. I am happy now to answer your questions. let's see, are there any questions in the Q&A box? So Louise has just asked me, what do you say when you start a meeting? So remember, those are one of the useful phrases we've just looked at, and we'll have the chance to work on them. I mean, we've already had the chance, haven't we? Are there any, do you remember any of these useful phrases? Let's see who remembers. Or they may also be some of your own. It doesn't have to be one of those we've already worked on. It may be a new useful phrase. Let's see. There's another question. So Louise has just mentioned, I would like to start. That's right. Any other? So you can say, I would like to start, or let's see. Of course, you can try welcoming everybody and using one of the most simple ways. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is, I'd like to introduce myself. One of the most simple ways. So Isabel has just asked, regarding the duration of a meeting, how do you manage with taking turns? I see, that's a good question. So if you want to take turns, you can always throw a ball, can't you? But I guess not all companies are into this playful way of meetings. You could say something such as, may I interrupt you, or sorry, of course, to interrupt you, but I would like to add. So this is the best way, being polite and just saying, sorry to interrupt you, but I would like to highlight, I would like to add, you could also say something like, I see what you're saying, I agree with what you've said, but I'd just like to add, if I may. So this way, it's more polite, and it shows that you have actually listened to the speaker before you. So this way, it's nicer. So Katya has also mentioned, you can say welcome to all and thanks for coming. That's right, that's another useful phrase. Let's see if there are any other questions one might ask. So, do you have any questions? So I guess we've already had a look at this. We've had a look at the new phrases right now. Welcome. Good morning. Thank you for attending this meeting. That's the best way, I think, being polite. And how many different types of meetings do you remember? So let's try jogging your memory, shall we? Let's see. if you remember all those types of meetings we have just looked at. Stand up, exactly. Katya has just mentioned the stand-up meeting. That's right, where you all stand up. Brainstorm, Saveria has mentioned the brainstorming one. Isabella has mentioned the decision-making one, that's right. Training meetings, exactly. I guess those must be pretty common, where yes, employees have to learn new things, keep up to date with progress in technology and so on. Team building ones, that's right, because having a team spirit is the key for good results, isn't it? So good job in remembering everyone. Do you remember decision-making ones? Exactly. So Saveria has just chimed in the decision-making meetings. Do you remember what type of meeting uses a ball? Who remembers what type of meeting? Stand up, that's right. Good job, Isabella. It's the stand-up meeting. I'd like to attend one of those. Sounds fun. Okay, and let's have a look at question number 5. Why do some companies use timers? What's the use of setting a timer? Who remembers? That's right. Yeah, so as Katya mentioned, the right answer is that you have to be on time. And Isabella thinks that it's not practical with an Italian BOD. I see. Maybe Italians aren't as used to these types of meetings where you use timers and so on. So I guess, yes, what Isabella mentioned, BOD stands for Board of Directors. Yes, I believe it could be a good idea, but then again, you always have to take into consideration what people are used to. It may work in the US or the UK, but it may not work in Italy, for example, because people may be used to different ways of attending meetings. That's a good point. Okay then, and so what are you going to say at the beginning of your next meeting? What do you think you would say at the beginning? Which phrase was your favorite? Let's see. Which one? So welcome for coming. Maybe thank you. I'd say thank you for coming. Exactly. So as Saverio said, you could say welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. That's right. And I think that's one of the most simple ones. And good morning. I am, exactly. Thank you for attending this meeting. That's right. Another nice and simple phrase. Okay, so thank you everybody for attending this webinar. I'm going to hand you over to Luigina now.
She said she's going to hand over.
It's truly been a pleasure participating. Okay, so goodbye everybody. It's really been a pleasure.
And Antigone, sorry, can
Yes?
you make Hallo the host? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to, because I made Luigina the host. I've just made Luigina the host.
Okay. Okay, if you could just give us 1 minute. Luigina will connect in 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, everyone. If you can just wait for 2 minutes. Okay, so I'm the host now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, I'm just going to, so thanks to Antigone. Now we are going to show you just a short presentation. And I'm going to hand over to Luigina in 1 second, okay? Okay, so Luigina.
Hello everyone, my name is Luigina and I'm an English teacher. Lavoro nell'ambito della formazione linguistica dal 2000, insegno inglese, sono anche traduttrice ed interprete. In questo periodo, all'inizio della mia carriera, ho conosciuto Marta, che è anche un'insegnante di lingua tedesca, e nel 2004 abbiamo deciso di unire la nostra grande passione per le lingue, per l'apprendimento e l'insegnamento delle lingue, e abbiamo creato Hallo, che è specializzata nella formazione linguistica per gli studenti privati e per le aziende. La nostra sede principale si trova qui nella bellissima Bologna, ma siamo presenti anche a Modena, a Pistoia, ed effettivamente oggigiorno con gli strumenti online possiamo raggiungere gli studenti ovunque, in Italia ma nel mondo. Vorrei dirvi alcune parole sulla nostra realtà. Che cosa offriamo ai nostri studenti? Una grande varietà effettivamente. Corsi che si possono svolgere qui nella nostra sede, oppure a Modena, a Pistoia, oppure corsi online. Corsi di lingua generale e corsi di business. E qui vorrei sottolineare un aspetto molto importante per noi. Siamo un centro che offre corsi di tutte le lingue, non soltanto lingua inglese, per cui le lingue un po' più comuni come l'inglese, il francese, tedesco e spagnolo e anche italiano per gli stranieri, nonché le lingue un pochino più rare. Organizziamo percorsi di gruppo, organizziamo corsi one to two e naturalmente anche dei percorsi personalizzati individuali, sia per gli adulti che corsi online. Molti studenti oggigiorno ci chiedono qual è la soluzione migliore, un corso d'aula oppure un corso online. In realtà non esiste una risposta universale, una risposta unica per tutti, perché siamo tutti molto diversi come studenti, apprendiamo in maniera diversa. Chiaramente ci sono vantaggi sia di un percorso in aula che un percorso online. Quali sono questi vantaggi? Sicuramente trovarsi in aula con altri studenti e con il proprio docente crea una grande socializzazione e di interazione. Si crede effettivamente un senso di appartenenza e come docenti riusciamo a motivare gli studenti tantissimo quando siamo fisicamente con loro online. Ci sono anche molti vantaggi dei corsi online ed è quello appunto di potersi connettere ovunque sei in Italia o ovunque nel mondo e inoltre le lezioni si possono anche registrare, per cui dal nostro punto di vista ci sono vantaggi, aspetti positivi sia del corso d'aula che dei corsi online. Ciò che realmente fa la differenza è il docente e qui ad Hallo Marta ed io e tutto il nostro staff valorizziamo tantissimo i nostri docenti. I docenti effettivamente sono gli strumenti più preziosi all'interno di un corso. Tutti i nostri docenti sono di madrelingua o sono bilingui, sono professionisti con tanti anni di esperienza e abbracciamo tutti il metodo comunicativo, per cui sottolineiamo tantissimo l'importanza del parlare e della comprensione della lingua. Cerchiamo di creare dei corsi in cui ci caliamo realmente nella realtà linguistica del paese, della lingua che studiamo. Oggi abbiamo il nostro Open Day qui a Bologna, sabato prossimo saremo a Pistoia per un altro Open Day, veniteci a trovare, saremo ancora qui fino alle ore 18:30, se non riuscite a venire contattateci, scriveteci, chiamateci, prenderemo appuntamento e vi accoglieremo per comprendere quali sono i vostri obiettivi, quali sono le vostre necessità e inoltre possiamo anche testare le vostre competenze linguistiche. Ultimo punto molto importante che vorrei ricordarvi è che dal 2018 Hallo è anche un centro dove puoi effettivamente avere una certificazione dall'Università di Oxford. Qui svolgiamo difatti l'Oxford Test of English, per cui venite a trovarci, abbiamo davvero tantissimo da offrirvi. Bye bye!